honorable guest Dr. Jitendra Pandey from Middle East Oman, from Middle East College, Oman, for a talk show on the same topic, green computing, the race to build a green internet. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. I congratulate Shia PG College for organizing such a wonderful event. I would like to thank especially Honorable President Board of Trustees Shia College Professor Aziz Haider, Honorable Manager Janab Saeed Abbas Murtaza Shamsi, Secretary Majlis Ulema Maulana Yasub Abbas, Principal Sir Professor Talat Hussain Naqvi, Dr. M. Maulana Izaz Abbas, Dr. Mirza Muhammad Abu Tayyib, Director Self-Finance, Dr. Pradeep Sharma, Director Shia College Data Resource Cell, and all the executive committee members of Shia PG College Green Campus Initiative Committee, Dr. Seema Rana, convener for Shia PG College Green Campus Initiative Committee. And I also thank all the students who have really volunteered and took part in this initiative, and all the faculty members and senior members available in this opening ceremony. Thank you all. My topic is a little bit technological related. I hope that you will enjoy the session. So let me share my screen first with you. Please let me know if you have any questions during the session. I would like to answer your questions as well. Yeah. And interrupt me if due to some technological error, I'm not able to communicate. So when you talk about environment friendly solutions or how we can save our environment, so we look around and we look at different things, planting more trees and reducing usage of polythenes or plastics, trying to look at the industries and reducing the waste which is coming out from there. But we have to also see the kind of damage these technology is doing to our environment. We have to look at this also and see that what can be done. So I have some statistics to share with you. The global emission of CO2 in the environment by different countries. You can see, of course, USA is leading in this, and India is also on the list with a good share, around 1.57 metric tons of CO2 emission in the environment. And this is a graph which shows how much electricity is being consumed by different countries. And India stands prominent there with 7% usage of electricity in all the countries which are available there. So that's a very general idea about how energy consumption is happening. And definitely when you say energy consumption, it is all that energy which is being used with the help of fossil fuels and which is emitting CO2 in the nature. And then we come to the topic, which is about the internet usage. And this is the statistics which I have taken in November 2019. So definitely these statistics will be much higher now. And you can see the growth of internet traffic in the last few years. Exponential growth you can see here, and how the internet usage has increased. Lots of applications, social media applications, or corporate world, whatever applications they are using, email, or you can say these Zoom, WebEx meetings, or Microsoft Team applications. All these applications which we are using, they are all dependent on some systems which support to execute these applications. Millions of users use these systems at the same time. To support the millions of users, you don't need just one computer or 10 computers, but you need thousands of parallel servers running so that they can cater to every individual needs, every individual services. But these thousands of servers, when they are running together, they consume lots of energy and they emit lots of CO2 in the environment. That is a big challenge for us. All of us, we are currently stuck up in the lockdown, and we are finding different ways to engage ourselves, entertain ourselves. Music, video streaming are some of those means of engagement. And if you just look at some statistics, You won't believe the numbers. The numbers, like in 2018, around now 900 billion music videos or audios were streamed. 900 billion music videos or audios, which is a big number. And similarly, the revenue which comes from these different downloads or video or audio playing is also huge. Around $8.8 billion is it's only in USA, which the companies are earning because of these downloads or you can say online playing of videos. Spotify, which is the largest music streaming service provider, it had 207 million monthly active users. I will be very quick in these statistics. I will come to the point straight away. And you won't believe that they were not able to sustain these users with their own systems, with their own servers. And what they did, they have to move to a stable server of Google, which costed them around $450 million. So you can imagine what kind of support is required if you want to run services like this, services like Netflix or services like Ghana.com or any other streaming service which you are using at home. Services like Zoom or services like WebEx or services like MS Teams, which we are using, they need lots of support from the systems. And these supports are definitely, you can see the kind of money involved in these services. Behind these services, we have something which is called as data centers. Data centers are collection of huge servers with high capacity, with redundancy, with kind of backup which is required. If one machine is down, there is another machine to take over so that the services are not stopped. These data centers, as per the statistics, they are responsible for 5% of global electricity use. So when we see ourselves, we will not believe that we are what actually we are doing. We are just opening our Facebook or Twitter or any of the application. But collectively, if you see around the world, across the world, 5% of electricity usage is done by the data center around the world. And this is not just 5%, it is increasing at the rate of 5% every year, which is definitely a matter of concern for all of us. Yes, you can see in the picture, in the very light shaded, this is a picture which is from the Google data center in Hamina, Finland. And this will surprise you, I suppose. The biggest data center covering 1 million square feet or more. I mean, if you have a data center of that size, they will consume as much electricity as a city of 1 million
Hello?
people. So a data center consumes electricity of a similar city of 1 million people. And also it emits CO2, which is as much as the CO2 emitted by the airlines industry. So that's another big concern. And we are assuming that the data which is currently stored and the data which will be stored after 5 years, it will be more than 5 times. That means in the future, these data centers are going to grow huge. That means the requirements of these data centers will grow again exponentially. And the kind of CO2 they will emit in the environment will also grow exponentially accordingly. That is what we have to see. In 2025, the volume will be 175 zettabytes. Zettabytes, if you are little bit unaware about these terms, so you can just see from here 1 gigabytes, and it's more than million times of gigabytes. It's a huge amount of space in the server. That is what we will be storing in the coming years, in the next 5 years. So this is just a small picture of a data center where you have got hundreds of servers which are there. So when we are talking about technologies like artificial intelligence, or we talk about the Bitcoins technology, or we talk about some robotics technology, we talk about these technologies, and then we see that these technologies are nothing but the programmings. And to execute these programs, to execute these algorithms, we need some servers which are strong, which can process these algorithms in a very faster way. So that is where the speed is required. That is where the capacity is required. And these data centers have these computers, these systems which support these processing capabilities. One of the data center picture is in front of you. This is Citadel in Nevada City. And this is one of the biggest data center in the world, which is around 7.2 million square feet. If you want to know the size of this data center, it's approximately around 150 football fields. So this data center is equivalent to 150 football fields. And also the amount of energy it is using is around 650 megawatts, which is a very high number. The good thing is that as we are showing the concern, these big industries, these big companies have also learned, have also understood that the CO2 emission or this challenge is equally for them also. So they are also shifting to alternate source of renewable energy. So this center is also dependent on the renewable energy sources, but you cannot say that they are not emitting CO2. Parallelly, they are emitting CO2 as well, because they, to operate their centers, they have to do the work. They have to do the work. That's another challenge for them. And if I talk about some of the other tech giants which are there, Google, Apple, Amazon, Microsoft, all of them, they have pledged or they are supporting the environment. They are working towards eco-friendly products. They are working towards the environment-friendly data centers, because wherever they will have their applications, they have to ensure that those centers are environment friendly. So they are also supporting, but all the support is not enough. The support is, I can say, it is in two ways. One is from the corporate side, industries, and the other support has to come from our side, individuals. So we have to also see that how much we can contribute. One way of contribution is how many emails we send every day. How many emails we are sending. So if we are sending 10 or 20 emails every day, or receiving 10 or 20 emails every day, how many emails are actually useful for us? There was a survey or a study which was done in Britain, and they found out that if every person will send one less email, this will reduce the carbon output by 16,000 tons. So next time when you receive an email, and when you want to say, you want to reply with a thank you, you have to see that how much you are contributing towards the CO2 in the environment. A thank you, just a thank you email, which may not even bother the other person, but actually you are contributing in terms of negatively to the environment. And 70%, even I think most of us will agree that if we send an email to anybody, we don't need a thank you email from them. After knowing this, we will say that we don't need a thank you email. Yes, earlier we will say, okay, yes, we want a confirmation that whether that person has received or no. But once you know that every email is going to give some impact in the environment, you will say, no, we don't need a thank you email. Also, global online video viewings, that means the video streaming. In year 2018, it generated as many carbon emissions as the whole of Spain. So the online video services which are there, they are emitting as much carbon as the whole of the Spain. Spain is a very big country with so many industries and so many tourists all around the world. Okay, that's one figure. Second thing I want to share with you, which is very interesting, I hope you'll find this interesting. The Google says that when anybody is searching for something on its website, one search uses the same amount of energy as a 60-watt light bulb, which glows for 17 seconds. So when you search on Google, when you search one time, it's equal to a 60-watt bulb, which is glowing for 17 seconds. And it will produce around 0.2 grams of CO2. And how many searches you are doing? How many searches are done every minute? 3.8 million Google searches every minute are done by the people around the world. This is again a statistics which is before the lockdown. And if you look at the current statistics, definitely the numbers will be higher. That's what the biggest challenge is. Lots of light. I mean, if you look at different people searching on Google for everything, you can see how much they are contributing negatively towards the environment. That's another cause of concern. Now let's talk about the mobile phones, the mobile devices which we are using. So all of us, we have mobile phones. We have, some of us, we have 2, 3 mobile phones because we want to have separate phones for office, separate phones for our homes. And then we want to have every kid will have a phone in the house. So number of mobile users are increasing every day. You can see this is the number which is for 2019, around 813 million users, which is a big number. And if you talk about how many phones you are changing every year. So the study says that Americans, they throw away 416,000, that is around 4 lakh cell phones every day. 4 lakh cell phones every day. 151 million phones trashed in a single year. And where does this go? Once these phones are thrown up, where are they going? They're going into trash. And when they go into trash, only 20% of this trash is thrown away in a environment friendly way. 80% is done in a very negative way. So that means lots of things have to be done in terms of managing the e-waste, how this e-waste can be managed. And I will not go into much details about this, but just I will give a summary here that if you think about how much waste is coming out from this electronic dumpage, it will be around 4,500 Eiffel Towers put together one above another. That means this much of waste is coming out of the world, electronic waste is coming out of the world, and which is definitely going to increase over the years. So we have to think of this. Solution, as I told you, we have to think of the solution for this big concern. Solution is green computing. And when we say green computing, we have 2 paradigms. We have 2 solutions. One solution which is from individual contribution. The top 2 are individual contribution, where we have to see how can we use our devices efficiently. How can we dispose our devices efficiently? And the support which will come from the industry, which will come from the government, will be in terms of green design and green manufacturing. How can we manufacture the devices which consume less electricity, which give out less CO2? What can be the best parameters for designing these equipments? So we have to see that how can we reduce together the damage to the environment? How can we reduce it? Because we cannot stop using mobile phones. We cannot stop using technology. We cannot stop using Zoom or WebEx or the applications. But we have to see that how we can minimize these challenges. How can we minimize these issues? One of the solution which is called as a green carbon offset. So what is carbon offset? So generally industries, what they do, they have to depend on the fossil fuel for carrying out their operations. So carbon offset is a concept where any industry, let us say you are using X amount of energy for your operations. So you have to pledge that you also generate X amount of renewable energy, so that it is balanced, so that your fossil fuel energy and renewable energy, the calculation is balanced. So that's what another option is there, which can be used by the organizations so that they can help the environment. There's a website where you can see the scorecard for the companies, which is called as Clean Energy Index, where they show that on different parameters, how these companies, they score in terms of being green, disposable, in terms of green manufacturing, in terms of less CO2 emission. So you can see, if you want to see this, you can check on their website that which organization is more dangerous, which organization is less dangerous in terms of CO2 emissions or green manufacturing. Just some latest statistics I have taken for your understanding of the issue. After the lockdown in March, between December and early April, the users of Zoom meetings increased 3 times. And this figure can be much higher if you just go to the latest statistics. And also the users of Microsoft Teams, which is another major platform where we are having online classes or meetings around the globe, it has increased around 12 million more users in just 1 or 2 months of time. 12 million more users have been added. Now, all these Zoom meetings or so many users which are using the system at the same time, what they are doing, they are logging on to the system and they are putting pressure on those data centers. Those data centers which are responsible to ensure that all these users, they get continuous services. So that's another concern for us. We have to see that we can minimize these challenges. At least we can play our own part individually. On individual basis, we can see that how can we control our usage. We can see that how can we can be responsible enough when we are using the internet, when we are using our devices. How can we dispose our electronic devices? We have to see that. So just for the conclusion, I will say that green computing, it represents responsible way to address the issue of global warming. We have to see that how can we reduce the impact of global warming. I heard some news that the ozone layer has closed and lots of environment friendly things have happened. That's true, but we have still not studied how much damage these technologies have done to the nature in these 2-3 months. That is another area of study. Probably the research will show in coming time that how much damage it has done. So thank you all of you for this session joining me. If you have any questions, I can ask you. I also pledge that I will support the environment, and I also request all of you to pledge that you will continue supporting the environment and you will continue using the systems in an environment friendly way. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You have any questions, please?
Jitin, stop sharing your screen so that I can unmute those who is conducting.
Just a second. Stop sharing. Yeah.
As we are short of time, so we are not welcoming the questions, and we will call you. It was a very interesting thing, so we will call you later on so that you can give 45-minute lecture and the question answer session also. Okay.
Thank you. Definitely. Thank you.
Pallavi.
Thank you, sir. I request all of you to please remain muted, and now I invite our Honorable Manager, Sir, Janab Abbas Murtada Samshi, Sir, and request him to recite the pledge on behalf of everyone so as to avoid any network issues. Please, sir.
थैंक पल्लवी। मैं लिख पढ़ूं?
हाँ, जी।
हेलो।
हाँ जी, पढ़िए।
तो क्या है?
जी, sir.
Our environment is a heritage. आ रही है? आवाज आ रही है ना? हेलो।
आ रही है।